Okay, so today, as you can see by the day's topic, and this is a what if scenario, and it also I'm bringing you guys some good news. I woke up not long ago. Before I really get into this video, I woke up not long ago. It's like now 1:14 and you know afternoon. When I woke up earlier, there was a bit of snow on the ground. Now there's not. Um, I'm not gonna be outside today doing this video, man. It's a bit cold, and the videos that I have put up about this topic, about the buddy situation and the case, I'm not gonna mention, his real name. This is a friend of mine, and even if he was found guilty, I wouldn't disclaim him. I wouldn't say negative things because that, in the end, that's still my friend who I came up with. And if he was found guilty of this, okay, then he shouldn't have done those things, but he wasn't found guilty. And I'm saying he wasn't because I do believe this case is absolutely over with and that it got thrown out quick. However, could it still be going on? Yes. I believe that it's still, going on, still being investigated, and exactly what his time was like being over in Max. So, this again about this case. If you guys really want to know more of it, check out my second YouTube channel, which is Thebudday 931. And this, in particular case, these girls tried setting him up, and they ended up getting him arrested and charged with being, pedophilia. But they targeted him because, he was different. And again, how is he different? He's 26, but he was born with something to make him look older. Kind of like that movie, kind of like The Mysterious Case of Benjamin Button, but kind of reversed. Well, not kind of, is reversed. I really don't know which way to put it. Also, he couldn't walk, so his parents had to spend a lot of money to get his legs working again. You can do that. I understand it costs a lot, and I understand, a lot of people may ain't got the money like that, either did they. But if you truly love your child, you're gonna make sacrifices. You truly are going to make sacrifices. And the first video that I did talking about this case, I broke it down on 3 different categories along with the projective expective on why I believe he is innocent. And then going into the second video called Setting People Up, I went into, different stories, you know, based off, my experiences and other experience of others that I have seen when you have people who set people up because you really don't know what their motives are. And also going into the third video that I did related to this called The Buddy Update, Storytime, My Time in Jail, and Fighting Depression. And I'm going to say this, man, somebody really commented like the LOL. They really thought that video was funny. There's nothing funny about this case and being charged with pedophilia and you had nothing to do with it. There's nothing funny about being set up. There's nothing funny about any of this. If the person who commented that, you need to be very fucking ashamed of yourself, because let's say if that was you were in that situation, you would not be laughing. You would be fucking crying like a bitch, is what you would be acting like. You would be out there wanting to really fight for your freedom, trying to prove that you were innocent. So people who were really slandering this, you don't know what exactly happened. You want to slander somebody just because, pedophilia, underage girls, without doing the proper research, because there are cases in this world that majority of people who get locked up had nothing to do with that crime, who were set up and had nothing to prove that they did it. Don't get me wrong. There are innocent people actually locked up. There were several cases so many years ago and a couple of years ago where they let so many majority of people out of jail and prison because they were proven innocent after so long because no one had the proper, I guess, technology, detective skills, and really going back to these cases. Being charged with a serious crime like this, that's your life. There's no getting your life back. None at all. But I'm going to say this. As you can see by this topic, if he was found guilty, what would he be facing while sitting in jail over in Max? Being waiting to go to prison? First and foremost, let me tell you, man, as soon as you go in there, with a really bad charge, you're not going to say what you went in there for. Something like this. However, word will eventually get out because they do let prisoners, certain ones, trustees, get the paper first to see, what's going on in the world. And sometimes, they may give it to other prisoners who ain't trustees. And then sometimes you also may have guards that talk to certain prisoners, spilling the beans, zipping the tea, so to speak. And word can get out throughout those two different ways. Newspaper and also through the word of mouth that can spread like wildfire. It can really spread like wildfire. When that does, and when something like that happens, you're going to get, no one's going to talk to you. You're going to be really locked in that housing unit in your cell for hours on end. And you're going to need security if you want to get let out in the rec to walk the yard, to get at least 30 minutes of freedom that you can get before you go back in there, because you're going to be in there longer in your cell than the other prisoners are over on Max. People are going to bang on your cell. People are going to threaten you. And that's exactly how it is over in Max, because they don't tolerate shit like that. So when you get transferred over to prison, it's going to get very much worse. Once transferred over to prison, it gets worse, man. It gets really worse. Because there's a good majority, if you don't write a note to the guard, what's called a check-in, to get you moved down into the hole, then there's a pretty chance you're going to end up dead. But before that, you're going to have people that are going to fucking beat you and rape you and have their way with you before they kill you. That's the life for people like that in there. There is no in-between. There is no getting no way out. There is none of that. And if you just so happen to survive and you bring in some commissary, they're not going to let you have that. They're like, hey, give me your fucking commissary. And you're just going to have to give it up. Because that's how it's going to be if he was found guilty. And he was not found guilty. Because I say this, which brings me to this one right here. On Facebook yesterday and early this morning when there's a bit of snow, he DM'd me, instant messaged me, and he's seen my videos, and this is what he said: just wanted to thank you, I watched your video about me. And my replies, man, you welcome, man, anytime, a lot, anytime, man, a lot, anytime, a lot that I found out, and nothing added up right to be, nothing added up right to me from what so-called evidence they had, and I didn't sit well with me, and I misspelled that wrong, but having all these other YouTubers slandering your name around and not even doing the research themselves like I did, and knowing that those girls were not even underage. They were in their 20s, and one of them has a reputation of setting people up just to get them in trouble, all because they wanted one thing from you, and that was money. And I wanted to use my voice and my platform to set some light on why I believe this was not real. So I spoke up for you, and I'm sorry that those girls dragged your name through the dirt, because this, as we know, can ruin your name out there, and this puts a lot of stress. Hold on, or was shit? This puts a lot of stress on you, especially mentally, man. Wish and I feel like I need to come to your offense on your behalf and speak up. Man, I've been through the system before, and I've seen a lot of things take place, man. I'm sorry that the video may have seemed like it was dropping all around everywhere, but I tried to make a point and have everything tie around. So, that was my reply once he messaged me. And, again, this goes to show what I just spoke about. And the first video is that when a lot of people, a lot of these YouTubers, those that tried to speak on this case, they couldn't find anything. Because, things like this within any situation with somebody that has a big social media following, there's going to be there's going to be a lot of stuff out there. Just going to be a lot of the indictments, receipts, paperwork, mugshots, things released upon the news, going into newspaper as well as on social media, and typing in the screen name, what he goes by, not a lot shows up with that, right? Even typing in his government name, which I did, nothing showed up with there either, because there was no indictments, there was no paperwork, there was no mugshot, there was no court date in terms of in court being set for date before trial setting. There was no bond fees. There was no jail posted up at the moment, at least for a good while, until like a couple of days ago. Then they did post, but that was on Reddit, and still I don't know how good of a resource Reddit is when doing research, because they do let people post on there. Going in, a lot of the evidence that they so-called had that they tried to use against him didn't hold, because that ain't nothing there to say that he did that. Because again, as I spoke about it in the first video of this, there was zero to nothing at all, and a lot of that shit was fucking fake. That was done on a text app by those girls, also edited through the phone, because text bubbles don't have heavy shadows. Going into that, the TikTok Vine app doesn't have instant messaging. Going into that also as well, the video that they try to use against him was a lip sync video without the audio. Going into that, when you get a phone, today's phones, when you get it activated and set up, a lot of your information and email and passwords through your computer that links into your phone, through your mobile device as well, your information's out there, and it's easy for people to go into your phone. with that because it is out there. And believe it or not, the phone companies do put your stuff out there behind your back without you knowing. So yeah, phones can get hacked. People can go into your mobile device without you knowing about it at any given time. Just like they got rid of the photo galleries. Well, guess what? Now they have where it says photos and it has like that colorful plant symbol that's connected through Google, through your email as well. Well, that's now your photo gallery. Well, guess what? All the stuff that you keep in there that's connected to your email onto your Google Plus page, because that's where a lot of those photos do go to since they got rid of the gallery, right? Once your phone is hacked and whatever it is you have on your phone, that shit can be easily used against you because somebody can easily snag that and say it's some other shit when it's not. Because if you take a look at the video, and particularly that he done for that, there was music put over that. And also you have you have where you can make another account like that, pretend to be that person, and also get them caught up. And going into it, looking at those girls were not underage. They were at age, they were in their 20s. Now, yes, I'm not going to take it out. Again, I'm not counting out that, yeah, people can get growth spurs like hell when underage. I've seen it. Matter of fact, I was one of those people that hit growth spurs, man. Like that. Going into this as well, during the investigation, I believe a lot of it was thrown out. Now, then again, it could still be going underneath investigation, probably still waiting for a court date, and probably still waiting for trial because he hasn't been sentenced. It's obviously that he's out. Either he got bailed out and still going through this, or either they threw it out because none of it, again, going back, there was no documents, there was no paperwork, there was no jail date of being booked, there was no jail fees, court fees, no dates being set, nothing about his name, no mugshot, nothing in terms of the so-called victims. But I'm pretty sure after 6 months, we'll hear some more stuff. And watch, as I'm saying this, yes, he is innocent. And I'm hoping the hell that he presses charges and sues those girls for trying to set him up, but just because he's different, man. Just because they wanted one thing from him, and that's money. And that's money, man. Making false allegations. Making fucking false allegations. Because when you're put through something like that, that ruins your reputation as a person. That ruins your name. That ruins your life. That ruins the people in your life, around your life. Friends, family. And if you have kids, that ruins them too. I'm about to be 28 in the next couple of days. I got documents and invitations on somebody who I used to call my friend, who's now my ex-best friend. I got some real shit up on him that I used against him. Because of some fucking shit he did. And I still have more stuff that I found that if eventually one day, if he chooses to want to really go and say some shit, really tries to do something, well, guess what? I can put all that out, plus some more, to really fuck up your life. I fucked up your life several times, and I gave it back to you several times because you kept crying like a bitch. So you do have some cases in life where you have to use that. But in this particular situation, with this friend that I'm talking about, for this topic, now this isn't the same person like I just mentioned. Again, for the buddy, that's a good friend of mine, man. He kept me updated on Make Dowell when I use my platform, my voice, to save that school. And the school did get saved. And I hope that you see this video, man, because I've done all 4 of these videos for you. Um, you know, you're innocent, and I really hope that you take into consideration of putting a case against these girls after all of it's said and done and over with, and press charges against them, man, and sue, because they fucked up your job, man. They fucked up whatever money that you did have coming in, and that you were about to have coming in, because you were about to get monetization by getting paid from YouTube, some stuff from Instagram and TikTok. So they fucked up your shit also financially. And I already know how shit like that feels like when you go mentally, because I go through some mental illnesses. I go through suicidal depression, bipolar depression, mood swings, and blackouts, and it's something that over time that you have to do what makes you happy. I know the situation when his family lost their house and job. And in order for him not to fall into depression, in order for him not to commit suicide, he found YouTube, he found Vine, he wanted to entertain. Now, this is the last video I'm going to do about this, and I hopefully that he'll do a video giving more of an update on his side and everything that happened out of all of this once it's said and done. I'm not saying that, hey, speak on stuff that was said in court. Don't do that, because you cannot do that. You'll get in trouble. But just go back to the beginning, the middle, and where you're at now, man. It's time for you now to give the people, an update of your following once all this is over. And you may not be able to build back that fan base, that reputation that you had, but at least let it be known. At least let it be known. Or you can just record a video, send it to me, and I can post it up on my page for you. But I really don't have too much really to say. And I'm glad to know that he's not in jail, man. I'm glad to know that he is okay for right now. And again, watch after about 6 months to a year, once the first part of this, the hardest part, is over with, and seeing what the outcome is going to be. He's going to be innocent, because he is. He is innocent. And to those girls, man, I hope they have what's ever coming to them, because just because someone's different, just because you don't get what you want. And that's one thing I really spoke about in the second video called Setting Up People. Like, the mind, what goes through the mindset of people like that? Is it jealousy, which is envy? Is it hatred? Is it malice? Do you have an axe to grind against this person, so to speak? Do you judge them just because they're different? What do you expect to get out of something like that? Money? Happiness? More hatred? Bragging? Clout? I mean, exactly what is it that people like that get out of it? Who set up people just to get them in trouble? Is it for your own entertainment? Is it for your own game? Because I've seen shit like that. I've been around the block more than 5 times where I can tell you this. You get nothing out of it, man. If anything, you get karma out of that. And shit always ends with them getting the shit beat out of them, or killed, or in jail. Again, I'm not a man of God. I don't consider myself a man of God. I'm not religious whatsoever. But I do believe what comes around goes around. But still, you don't get nothing out of it like that. So why do it? Why fucking do it? this is the last video, like I said, about this and why things, are the way they are. Just why, you know. I felt like I touched on this as much as I could possible. I'm gonna say this, man. The law is so ruined, as in it's damaged, it's broken. They really don't have a system in place. And I'm about to say some shit. It ain't finna criticize me because I'm not the one that. I want to share some stories. I'm going and saying why the law ain't fixed, why the system is broken. I don't want to go on too much longer, but they're not well equipped. They ain't trained. They ain't trained, man. If you ask me, they're trained to really kill. And to listen, the court system broke. Because when I was in court for my case, the court and the judge and the fucking system, they fucked up. Because not only did they fucked up, I made them look stupid. Because once I literally brought all the evidence that I needed to clear me, to help me in my case, because I was the victim, even though I was the one that got arrested for shit, having them also doing investigations even more, getting statements. The people in that courtroom after all that, even during that, which was made public, they looked at him in a way like, wow, the system's really fucked up. It's broke. They don't even know. And I embarrassed the court. Because of that, it would have cost anybody between $10,000, $20,000 just to get your rights and get your whole record expunged. But it didn't cost me nothing because it cost me $0 fucking dollars because of their fuck ups. And here's the thing. More innocent people sit in jail more than the guilty ones. In my situation, I was attacked, and it was also about money that was being took from me. And every time I defended myself and tried to fight this, I would get locked up while the other person would get let go and not face any consequences. The cops ain't that smart either. And I'm going to tell you a story. This is somebody who's related to me. I'm not going to say who. And this is during the time before cars had alarm systems. So we're going back in the 70s, near the 80s at the most. Maybe, yeah, near the 70s and 80s. And this person who I'm related to broke into the police car, right? It was parked. I do believe it was, at the time, they had diners and coffee shops, right? And there's something that I still have. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show it because it's not criminalizing me. It's not. It's not criminalizing me. Two of the things we don't have anymore. One was an actual, nightclub that a cop used when they were made out of wood. That was given to somebody, again, who I was related to. Then there was a taser, a police taser at the time when they ran off batteries. Somebody's looking for a taser about a couple of years ago. I gave it to him. The next thing is actually one that's still left. In an actual police jacket that you would see like they wear up north, New York and in Montana. All the badges and stuff are off of it, been off of it. Hold on, let me turn the phone this way, get you guys a better look. All the badges and stuff were off of it. And this been like this since the 70s. around the 80s, 90s. Not saying who did it, somebody who I'm related to. An actual police coat. Yeah. Going into it, you have the faded out tag with the company that a lot of police forces use because it has the badge symbol right in there. Alright, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with it on. Alright. I used to... There we go, right there. That's what it looks like with it on. The jacket keep me pretty warm. A bit tight a little bit snug, but still fits. I used to wear this jacket a lot. In public, even through my high school years. This fucking jacket kept me warm. Real leather. And you could never tell it's a police jacket. Because a lot of police jackets changed over the time. They actually started changing in the 90s. And then they changed the full circle and changed not a full circle. They changed a full lot again early 2000s, then going mid 2000s. And then I think they stuck with one design that they still use today, which is like the rain jacket look. Like the FBI type of jacket, kind of like with the windbreaker. So, yeah. Yeah, this is an actual one. Just to show the law doesn't have its shit together. That goes to show you can even still get police stuff today. A lot of the shit sold online. They sell police stuff today in stores, at gun places. And they really are criminalizing their own self because, quote unquote, they'll say, well, you really can't have, citizens really cannot have police shit. Well, say that to this shit that's being sold, man. License, here. Yeah. That actually was stolen from an actual cop back in the days. I'm gonna hang it back up. But yeah, that's about it for this video. About it right now for this topic. And now I'm waiting on see what else comes after this, after about 6 months to a year, and see if the buddy will come back and give his part on this. So he can get his statements out there and things like that. So peace.